Anybody who's watching now or will be watching now or later. I am in the city of Ryul. That's what they call it. You know, still looking for Satan, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna find him. I got this the extra ruby, the raid stone. Is that one up there too? Who's this? Anywho. Hope everybody who's black enjoyed. I'm gonna stop saying it, but hope everybody enjoyed their Juneteenth who celebrates, which should be black. This is the one thing. This is actually genuinely a nitpick. Like, it doesn't actually wouldn't change anything if they changed it, but this exploration's kind of getting on my nerves. I just want to shoot something. But that's totally me. I just watched this video that was like talking about fucking different game sucks, and the funny part about it to me was that they mentioned a bunch of old, like in the PS2 generation, I think specifically was really one of the most, but is what they mentioned, like just excuse me, just because the people who primarily play COD, Madden, and 2K are kind of the main ones complaining about that. Complaining about games to play. Okay, so is there no way for me to go back? Okay, this is a problem. Again, I can't even. Cause alright, if I go the way I'm supposed to, which seems to be this way. Yeah, looks like I'll be able to go back. So I'm not gonna try. I want to fight. But back to what I was talking about. There's this content creator, and they're really cool. Like I love all their videos. Like I mess with everything they really talk about. But and even I was with them in the first half. But then they mentioned Baldur's Gate 3, and Baldur's Gate 3 is like one of the best. Baldur's Gate 3 is like one of the best games of all time. Definitely this generation, definitely better than most games last generation, and like one of the best RPGs. Like, it's not necessarily my favorite Baldur's Gate game. I think I still kind of prefer 2 because just being able to like go through the journey in the first game and then import your save into the second game and continue that story. It's really cool. I always just like the fact that like this was a game. I hate to sound pretentious or at least elitist, but it was like a thinking man's game. Like you needed to know where to put your stats. You needed to know which quests. You need to approach quests in a semi-realistic way. You could steal things from people and use them for later quests. You could go on, certain quests. People would try to kill you if you would take them. There are all these options, all these different like ways that the game would go. And so I mention this because I do think there's sort of a case to be made for games not being as good as like later generations. Because I think like hit for hit, we were getting better games other generations. But like, it was just a little disingenuous to me when they mentioned Baldur's Gate 3 in that video, because all of the games, when they mentioned like you had options, you wanted a different type of sports game, you had a bunch of clones. You wanted an action game, there are a bunch of clones. You wanted Hey, watch this combo. Come on! Come on! Ooh, weird something. Come on! Ooh. Ooh. Maybe. Maybe don't. Ooh, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. Looks like a lot of shit. Really? Oh, that was my only one too? Back to what I was talking about earlier. I'm trying to write that. See, and this is my elite gamer knowledge. I didn't even have to read. But anyways. uh there's this video Stony the God made. I think that's his name. And it's a really cool video, especially I think from the perspective of people who do feel like gaming is a bit of a
gaming nowadays.
Stony the Great. But he did this video talking about why gaming sucks. And it's really attacking the perspective of you should expand your horizons because you didn't have to in past generations. And he's talking about, all these games were in front of you, like you had different versions of like sports games. You had different versions of Madden, you had different versions of like basketball, you had the NBA street games. It was funny, I was kind of surprised they didn't mention NBA Ballers, which is probably for a reason. But we had multiple versions of like basketball, we had multiple versions of soccer, football, like we had options. And then he's like, well, if you don't want to play sports games, you had like Max Payne, you had Dead to Rights, which is a Max Payne clone, but I digress. You wanted a GTA clone. You could play Sleeping Dogs, but which is kind of, I'm getting to my point, but what is it? Even just a bunch of, a lot of the games. He was like, you had Infamous, you had all these different games or whatever, and you have a lot of broken games. And that's definitely where I'm like, yeah, like, that's one of the great things but terrible things about, like, the PS2 generations is that when a game released, it was finished. But if it was released broken, it was never getting finished unless it was on PC. Like, Vampire the Masquerade is one of those cases where a game like that actually I missed all the stuff there. Can I go back? I cannot. You know what? You know what? Just to be safe. Oh, I didn't know I was riding my dragon. Oh wait, this is my dragon's Cthulhu. Yeah. All right, I forget this is how it started. But yeah, Stony the Great mentions all these different games that are really just clones of other games, and it feels kind of disingenuous talking about options when your options are just other versions of other games. And really, I feel like the issue is when we talk about expanding your horizons is that you guys don't have taste. Like, there are a lot of people who say a game sucks right now. I think you just don't really have taste, respectfully. Like, and when I say that, I don't mean that like from top to bottom. I do think on the AAA tip, we are like missing so many games right now. I mean, we're missing the type of games we were given even last generation. Last generation was a felt like a bit of a downtread. Felt like a bit of a felt like a bit of a slump because we were getting AAA games, we weren't getting them as good. Like Killzone, Shadowfall, Mid, The Order, and it's crazy. There's like this revisionist history going on with that. The Order was it 1877, 17, some whatever. The game where you play as Nikola Tesla and his merry band of misfits fighting werewolves and vampires. Cool game, but like it wasn't super crazy, and it didn't get a sequel for a reason. Sorry. And so, but also, last generation was like the resurrection of a lot of genres, like the survival horror genre came back, Capcom came back, RPGs were coming back, like action games, like real action games were coming back, and they're coming back again. But like, it felt like they were coming back. Devil May Cry came back, and you get Sekiro, which is still like in Souls adjacent, but like I hope people like and JRPGs, Persona 5, like there's Octopath Traveler. For Fire, we got another Fire Emblem game, and like that. And then I just saw something that said, "Oh, if Awakening didn't do well, we wouldn't have gotten Three Houses. We wouldn't have gotten another Fire Emblem game." So I didn't have to do that. I digress. But I think yeah, I didn't have to, but it's gonna help me for the stuff here. And it's like, yeah, we like last generation. There was like so many like the Evil Within 2. I mean, this goes back to my survival horror point, but like there were so many like unique games in Dishonored 2, like Prey, like it felt like gaming was coming back, and this generation kind of feels that way too, because Baldur's Gate 3, I think, is another one of those games where it's like the people who make games and the people who are behind games are remembering, oh, people like games. People don't just like the AAA narrative, like action adventure, whatever game, or people don't just want to go around and talk to like their friends and go on, basically play a movie. They want to play a game. So, like, I feel like even with last generation, we were getting somewhere. And the issue with this generation is that we're clearly seeing signs that AAA is fail. And I'm saying this playing like one of the best AAA games kind of like come out this entire generation. Is there anything? Well, I can't go there anyway. Oh yeah, maybe I could. Let me look at that. Yeah. Look, I do think I'm gonna be able to come back. So you know what? Wait. Before I still. But I feel like I've been talking all over the place. Stony the Great, his video, I think, is hitting something on the nail, but it's also missing the point. And it's also, I think, like it is a great sort of way of showing where the industry is now anyway. It's a great indicator of like where we are as far as this generation. I shouldn't have used that life in the first place. I did kind of waste that, didn't I? But it's showing a great, and also that's kind of to my point too. Like this game kind of goes to like what my point is, because he's mentioning all these games we're missing. We don't have any. Maybe. Oh, yes, agree. Let me get back to my plan now. I just gotta murder a billion beings. Here you go. Really? Have to lock it. Ugh. Get off. Go. Alright, who's next? Damn. It's like, how come I'm not afraid of it? Like, who made that text so different? Easiest one in my life. Easiest fight of my life. Anywho. Yeah, so I just, if anybody cares about what I was even talking about earlier, it's just, it rubs me the wrong way. Please remember certain gates to open it, align, shit. Okay. So, yeah, didn't need to read it. But, if anybody cares what I was talking about earlier, I just, Stony the Great's video about what modern is, it just rubbed me the wrong way because I was really looking the first time because I do think there's something to say about the type of like mainstream games that are presented to us right now. They aren't really as good as they used to be. Like the AAA industry, and it's clear with like games like Concord, what's going on with like Insomniac with the leaks, and even like Spider-Man 2. Like it's not a bad game, but personally, I liked look hate me and call this nostalgia, but I like the original Spider-Man 2 based off the movie much more than that. Like there are more activities, they're more no. Oh, the combat's deeper. The voice acting's better, but like I didn't really feel like Spider-Man as much. It didn't really give me the opportunities to do it as much. It just felt like an open world game where I'm playing as Spider-Man. That's kind of how I feel about it, and that's kind of like with a lot of modern games now. Like with the God of War games, it's like they feel like games that are made with the utmost like tight knit community and that's not what I mean. Like market. It's like market tested to the finest of teas. Like it's I have to give the combat. It's it's flowers. It is great at times. At times, it it's great until it isn't. Because like you can throw the axe and you can throw the spear and then you can use the blades. You can combine and mess around with all these different things, but it's not as fluid as it could and should be. And on top of that, it doesn't have a roster of enemies that really makes it worth it. Like this game, I think it's a great example where you have fodder enemies and you have special enemies, and you're wait, what's that? I can charge it. I can rev this. I have not done this the whole game. Like that's what I mean. Like the movement is like precise. The mechanics are like deep. It's simple. There's not like a lot of RPG bullshit, and there's like they still kind of have like builds, if you will. Like, I can use different runes. I can use different where's the melee ticks. I can switch between my power gauntlet and my flail, and they both have different types of gameplay styles in mind. One's racking up health, the other's racking up damage. Like it cuts through all the bullshit. It gets right to the point what I'm trying to do. But just beat the shit out of enemies. And experiment with these cool combos is another thing. That game doesn't really, and it has like a bunch of. Please make it. And like movement is really important. Man, we're in Grand Closing. And it's like you know, or like even Elden Ring. It's like you have cool bosses, but then you have like 30 other dungeons where like it's repetitive bosses, and like what even is like the last like big AAA game that came out besides those two. Like I can't even think of it. And I think that's kind of what's like. I agree with Stony the Great in the sense of like the games that people typically looked out for, we don't really have anymore. Because I feel like there's certain like action games too. Like this, that's why I love this game is that you don't get like a traditional just pure action game. You don't get a game where we're just gonna give you we're gonna give you weapons, we're gonna give you a move list, we're gonna give you enemies with very clear weaknesses. They give you a bunch of moves you can experiment with and like play around with without having to mess with a build, without having to do anything you want. Mostly like strong player freedom. Oh, I forgot about Tears of the King. And I forgot about Nintendo. Yeah, I did forget about Nintendo because Nintendo. I would say that they haven't been carrying this generation, but Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid. I'll even Metroid Dread. Great game. Great game. That's a game. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Astrobot. I mean, Astrobot was cool. I'm not like crazy. Like that's what I mean. And that's kind of what I give some of the great points, like expanding your horizons to play like Astrobot. I'm sorry. Like Little Big Planet with extra steps. I know that's a very it's more like Mario Galaxy if anything. That's what people are comparing it to at least. But sweet. Another thing I miss: water levels. Let's go. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I actually kind of do this. I think my one of my hot takes is water levels are overrated. Water levels are overrated. They were perfect, but they had a move. They had a like style, a feel to them. I liked it. And let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Uh, yeah, it's just. What was this? That's my weapon. Give me the Mace of God. Yes. Yes. The Dread Mace. The Dread Mace. We're about to knock the shit out of these bitch ass demons. The Dread Mace delivers massive damage to your target and nearby enemies. It has a maximum of single charge and will refill your guns to full ammo capacity unhit. Okay. The Dread Mace delivers massive. Oh, so yeah, I can only use it once. So it says parrying will accelerate the charge. Okay. It has the longest recharge time between strikes. So I guess I might as well stick to my hands. Pick up melee ammo and reduce charge time. Oh, that's what's there for. You can change your equipment. Yes, I know that. Alright, here we go. I am a fool. I am a fool. Oh, wait, right, I can't do a lot of my moves anymore. I'm not gonna fix that thing. Look, I'm racking damage. Like if I could bomb rush into somebody in the game, I'm gonna do it. Guess who? Guess three. Nice. Oh, these are here the whole time. It's just, yeah, that's what I was that. It's just, it tastes a little disingenuous because, yeah, like we're not necessarily having the variety in like the games. Like I said, games are presented to us. And it's because it's getting harder to make games. The type of games most people want, these people expect. It's taking five, like Grand Theft Auto 6 has been in development shortly after Red Dead Redemption 2 that came out 2018. So if I'm doing the timeline as much justice as I can think of, they really started development 2019. It's coming out next year, so 2026. 7 years. 7 years to develop a game. 7 years to develop a game, and that's about. I think that's about the same time it took Red Dead Redemption 2 to develop. Now that I think about it, because what did they make? Grand Theft Auto 4, 2012. Yeah, I think Red Dead Redemption. No, 2012 was around the time Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. Jesus. And it was like the year after, yeah. Yeah. So it took them, they said it took them 7 years to make that. In fact, now I think they might get delayed again. Yeah, we might not see GTA 6 to 2027. But, either way, 7, 8 years to make a game. Cyberpunk took that long, and it still needs to get updated. Okay. And also, that's like these developers make multiple projects at the same time too. Because like, it wasn't like Cyberpunk was made on like a singular timeline. Like they were working on Witcher 3, they were working on Gwent, they were working on like a number of things while doing, and they were supposed to be having a multiplayer mode too that never came out. So I agree. I missed a few minutes. Oh, wait. Ah. Saw that. Because even making this game, like this is a very like mechanically like simple game to make, but like to have this amount of polish, to have this much responsiveness, to have this game look this good and run this well, like I'm not waiting low. Like the load times on this game are very high. And games are getting more expensive too. It's like I think casuals should should temper their expectations to a certain extent. That's the one thing. But I do think like that it is right to be like we're not getting the games that we used to, because I feel that way too. But I also agree with the people who are like, this is actually like if you are somebody who actually plays games respectfully, there are a lot of great games coming out. Because like I'm Baldur's Gate 3 stuck in my head, and in order to like fill that void, I've been playing this game Pathfinder, and it's such a good RPG if you like that type of thing. Like, I am crazy for the game, and even going back to like Divinity 2, I want to go back to 1, but like I remember that slump. Like getting past the early level of that was very, very like it was a struggle. And this is the thing with Larian make great games, but they have yet to figure out how to accomplish the uphill battle that every RPG has to fight, which is nobody likes the beginning of an RPG. Nobody does, unless it's like Mass Effect or I don't know. Even Mass Effect. I'm really talking about Mass Effect 2, because Mass Effect 2 is a strong introduction. It's also the most casual of them. And so, you know, if you want an RPG with deep mechanics, you have to find a way to introduce these mechanics to these people without actually, like, having the people who play these games be like, this sucks, it's boring, I'm tired, I want to do something else. Which is fair. Like, everybody's time is valuable. Who wants to spend all their time trying to figure out mechanics of a video game? Nobody. But a lot of people end up missing out on like what other games like have to offer. Well, they don't give it. Oh, this is it. Okay. Oh, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. Okay. Okay, I did not see. How's this? How did I do that? I was so confused. I don't care anymore. Can I run? Yahoo! Let's do it. Let me see. Wait, 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 actually. For him. That was actually way easier than I thought it would be. I have an idea. Give me some. Give me your soul. Yeah. Anywho. So yeah, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of what things I missed. Is it taking me back? It's hope so. Yeah, there's like yeah, this generation very much flawed. I think calling it one of the worst generations is really where I start to be like, like why don't we take those rose-tinted glasses off? Because let's be honest, 360 generation great, but a lot of misses, a lot of misses. Not as many misses this generation. I'm sorry. Like for every miss we had last generation, there's like a hidden gem, uh, two, two, three just really good to great games, and at least one masterpiece. Like this game in itself, I feel like kind of proves that point. because like we're getting a pure action game, and like it's not Doom Eternal, mind you. Like that's kind of where I'm like I don't know if this generation is better than last because last generation, while also not perfect, I've already mentioned this, but we've gotten it was a revival. I mean, it was a revival of this genre. Like we got Doom 2016 and we got Doom Eternal, and that brought back boomer shooters. We got Resident Evil 7 that brought back survival horror. Really, really, I want to give PT that credit too, because let's be honest, and I know they said they were Resident Evil 7 was in development beforehand, but when that demo for Resident Evil 7 was oddly reminiscent of another game, and I wouldn't be willing to bet this, but I would put in a slight parlay of a good 20 some dollars to be like, I think they changed the perspective at the very least. I think that was a change because like I don't think it's that hard to change. Like I'm no game developer, but I do think a team as seasoned as seasoned as Capcom, who has like the experience Capcom has, they could 1,000% switch the perspective. So what am I supposed to do? No, I need to. How does this thing work again? Cosmic Eyes. There we go. Certain gates and the realm are locked with Cosmic Eyes to open it. Align the frame. Okay. First, I gotta find the frame. There it is. Alright, what if I could go on that side? How do I do that? Oh, aha! Come on. Come on, game. Do that shit. Let me move this. Maybe I'm just gonna. Alright, so dumb. Let me think. But yeah, let me continue. Yeah. Yeah. I think both perspectives are. This is really the point. This is really the point I want to hit home. Is I think the clash of perspectives I think is indicative of a few things. Let's give two things. One, the evolving tastes of gamers. We are, I think, both learning about the things we do like and the things that we dislike much more now because we have much more options, but we are also lacking a lot of the options we had before, if that makes any sense. Like the fact that Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out is a big thing because last time we had a real like serious action game, like a true pure action game, was Devil May Cry 5, and that's one of the greatest action games of all time. But you had a game like Final Fantasy 16 that dabbled in it, but it's still, like DMC Light, very like, it's still a Final Fantasy game, which is a good thing. Like, who doesn't want to play a Final Fantasy game? But it had those Devil May Cry aspects, and it made you want more. Like, I had one of my best friends, my homie Viz. Viz, he loves that game because it reminds him of Final Fantasy, I mean, not of Kingdom Hearts. And in many ways, it is the Kingdom Hearts 3 that I wanted. And even that, like, I'm looking back on that game when it came out, I didn't hate it, but it was very much one of those games where I was just like, I was very disappointed, very underwhelmed. Didn't want to play it, didn't care for it. Like, it went completely over my head, just as far as, like, what to appreciate from it. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I'm halfway from, I don't want to look up a guy, but I kind of want to look up a guy. Wait, what's it? That's not supposed to go. Is there, is there nothing I can do? Like, I just sort of wait. No, I still can't hit from there. City of Satan. I guess I'm gonna have to look it up. Alright. Oh, what's this? No. Hey. Hmm? No. Hmm. Why can't I just find this? Right before I do it, let me just. For John. Mm. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Hey, can I use this here? Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. Hmm? I thought it would. But yeah, like this generation, I think we like so Final Fantasy 16 was cool, but I think for people like me and like people, I don't know, like actually let me get back on what I was talking about Kingdom Hearts. I didn't like when it originally released. Now I haven't gone back to it, but like the more I've seen people talk about it, the more I see people like play it. I want to give it another try, and I want to look at it with like a fresh pair of eyes because I think it can actually like there's actually something there that I had missed when I originally played it. And I think for a lot of like people who are like stuck with like because the thing is I was comparing it to Kingdom Hearts 2, which is like one of the greatest games of all time. When you do that, when you like put this game on a pedestal, it can never really meet or in Final Fantasy in Kingdom Hearts 3's case, compare to something that has this immeasurable standard. Because like, why is Kingdom Hearts 2 the greatest game of all time? It just is. It just is to me. And so comparing a game to that with that type of frame of mind, it's like, well, none is ever going to beat that. And it's like, I think a lot of, you know, casual gamers, they have to, and then they come to kind of terms with whether they really like games or not. Because I know, because you know, there are a lot of like even the games he was talking about. He's like, do you want to play? You know, sports games are fucked. I'm sorry. Like, you just kind of need to accept the fact that sports games are going to be cash grabs for the foreseeable future, except for like that new soccer game that looked, I forget what it's called. It's called Session or something. That looks cool. But like, you know, extreme sports games and sports games are done. That's that. We're never going to get those games. We're never going to get racing games again. You know, you're only going to get Need for Speed. You know, Burnout. And then when it does come, if it does come back, ooh, don't lower those expectations. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you want a Max Planck clone? There's fucking El Paso Nest elsewhere. There's the fucking my friend what's it? My name is Pedro. There's Katana Zero, I think that came out last year, but you know they just had DLC for that. Um, the fucking well, there was like another game. I mean, there's this. This is you want a high octane, you want a pure action game. There's this. You want a superhero game. You are in a bit of a bind. You are in a bit of a bind. Oh, you know, you're going to play Spider-Man. play fucking Spider-Man. Yeah, the Wolverine is still coming out. You know, shout out to Insomniac. Uh, what other games he mentioned? I mean, there's another Witcher game. There's another I don't know game. Oh, he's mentioned Splinter Cell. I mean, shit, Hitman 3 is right there. And they're making another James Bond game, which is also to his point. Which is also to his point. Like, it's not that he doesn't have a point. It's that he invalidates it once he, as soon as he mentions a game that somebody else would mention, as like, you should try this game out. And it's like, I can't, I don't have to. The whole point was like, you still have to expand your horizons. But as soon as you're faced with like an objectively amazing game, and if we're being real, better than most of those games that he even mentioned, then like, if not all, like, then it is kind of a skill issue. It is kind of like I'm sorry, you're a bit of a casual. That's not a bad thing, but it's like you need to. I don't say that to like gatekeeper or be an elitist. I say that to say I think you need to look at what your taste of games are. Sorry, people had to take a personal break. Had an emergency. Business took a priority. And by that I mean I had a phone call to take. But yeah, it's just I think when we look back on this generation, we're gonna look back at it fondly. But there's gonna be lots of critique, lots of critique, especially since they're already talking about PS6 and like Xbox is moving to the whatever the Ally, whatever the fuck that is. It's like, damn, it's like I just feel like this generation kind of came and went. Oh, I thought I was dead. I just feel like this generation just came and went. Like, there are definitely games that people can think of, and like I'm a bit of a remake like hater, like slanderer. Like there are very few remakes. I was like, this generation, I love them. Like the Demon Souls remake was hot. It was really good. Which is funny because like most of the fans hated it, and I get why. I get why. Like I'm not. That's one of the like remake hate. I'm like on the money. Yes, it's even though I like it, I agree to the criticisms. But there's that. There's the Dead Space. The Dead Space remake was awesome. Like even I have like mild critiques of, but as a whole, as a whole, I that was like one of the best games. I think was it, if not no, of 2023, which is like one of the greatest years of gaming. And that's another thing. Like each generation could what the you shot through the fucking fuck you. Even that. Yeah. So we got Baldur's Gate, uh, Tears of the Kingdom, Jedi Fallen Order came out that year. Well, Fallen, no, not Order. What's it called? Fallen. Oh, there's a thing. There's a show. Got here's very good cheer. Take effort from the match. So I don't know I can get that. That's a lot. Just go a little more. Like, really, 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 like to get there. Yeah, you know, bit of a waste, but I still want to do it. No! Try you know, that's, but it's like, yeah, you look at 2023, great year for games, but like a lot of remakes, a lot of sequels. Wait, this is what I need. Oh, wait, yeah, it's gonna need. Wait, wait. Wait, aha! That's how I get there. How should they use the BFG? Not as always, but shit at the end thing. It was like 2017. Also a great year for games. You got what was it? You get Tears of the, you get Breath of the Wild. You get Persona 5. You got Nier. You got how about the Resident Evil? Oh no, you got Prey 2017. Very underrated game. Evil Within 2. They still get your games. Fuck. That's it. Oh. What? Come on. I am fucking nope. Let's go. There's all. Where was that? I'm thinking. Yeah. We should normalize giving people thinking chairs. Like Steve had it, right? Get a dog, get a house, thinking chair. If only the houses were for. Make this go. Yeah. I'll get the race done. No, I just need that one because of the, it's to the ruby. Just need the gold that I missed. So it's the Aghaton, another. Like a bitch to me. That's not what I was trying to do. kind of saved me. If I can't come back here, I think it's gonna be a lost cause, unfortunately. Wait, can I not get the one there? It's not TED Talk. I think gaming is in a very interesting place where the old ways are dying, but the new ways aren't exactly thriving either. This people are still clinging to the old ways of good gaming. And it's the gamers and the publishers alike. I think the developers and people who are like who like really played games have been like are waiting and begging for it to evolve and change. Like I do not care if the AAA gaming if it dies, you know. It is long. Like if GTA 6 fails, and you might see a smile on my face. I'm sorry. It's not like I want any of those people to lose their jobs. I don't want them to like feel like all their work was for nothing and had to waste all their time there. But also, like the heads of these, I don't even mean the publishers, like the game directors, because like the signs for Concord were like very obvious, and they thought it was too big to fail, and well, turns out it wasn't. Or like even games like Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption, that are still like great games that go through like extensive amount of crunch and go through like weird development cycles because the directors are like, oh, let's do this instead, let's do this, let's do that. It's like, I feel you. But like, you guys just want a lot of detail in your games. And I think that's what like lost, and I only got half the shit. All right, so I'm gonna redo that. It's just the ghostly realm awaits. So actually, I don't feel like this. Now that I think, I don't feel like this is like a retcon or anything. Because like you go through all types of relevance. Like I'm just like finishing the first Doom and the second Doom. Because Doom 3 was my first Doom, and it's still my favorite Doom. Not the best Doom, but still my favorite. Like I think if we're Doom Eternal, not just the best Doom, one of the greatest games of all time. This honestly feels like it can be a good second place. Really good second place. Then it's three. Sure, yeah, sorry. Then it's three. Then it's 2016. Then two. Then one. Wow. Oh my god. So this was behind that door. Which means that's what it means. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? Secret crouch. This is random. Yeah. Oh wait, no, stop. Open sesame. Okay, I was listening. How do we get out of there? That's I missed a lot of gold. Yeah, I wish. This is the one thing with this game. Okay, go the gold there. Where's all the gold then? Honestly, that's enough for me to want to quit. So, part two of the stream should continue momentarily. Thanks for anybody who's watching. We'll be watching later.